To the listeners and supporters, fans, well wishers, them, Salon Tok Forum, where they deal with issues, comment, and analysis. Want tell everybody, boku, 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 audu, and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, say we tell God tell and thank you, because we don't grab today. We in another beautiful, beautiful day, and today now, Wednesday, September 4, for believe today now, September 4, Wednesday. We tell him Boku thank you for the gift and blessing we give for Allah God. So today we can discuss something very, very vital to the African, continent. But first, I want to follow me now. I want to obviously share. I want to comment, and I want to subscribe to the Kutubu Kuruma YouTube platform. Please, I ask you for do that. Today we will come discuss this Chinese-African relationship. Now they can discuss now. It appears say China don't actually prepare how they need one. Where the African leaders they're very oblivious of them. China, they give it to some of what we call aggressive loan night in to then third world countries and the African countries. Then they give them loan here with a lot of conditionalities. Once meet up, then what they do, then they seize on assets. It don't happen in Nigeria, now Ogun State. The governor will be needed negotiate foreign policy. Because in the sense that what he do, he go negotiate with China for a project. So the project been done, they sign an agreement. But Ogun State failed for meet the condition, and they failed for meet the condition. So waiting happen, China go they seize the asset. They go seize the asset because Ogun State no live to their own part of the bargain. They're gonna cut them. So virtually all the cuts them support China. Because what did China do? They seize the presidential plane, and they seize. I mean, I cannot conceive of anything way more disrespectful than they seize the presidential jet in China. I mean, China go na Nigeria. They go seize the presidential jet because Ogun State failed for honor the agreement to them again. They failed for honor the agreement. I mean, this is not such a disrespect to the sovereignty of the country. See, now the danger this way states they enter into foreign policy. For all, Nigeria should never have gone that way where they get states then. Nigeria should never have gone federal. They should have remained like within this like that. Because the thing is, they simply not get what it is for run a federal government. They go to the scenario. Even though then the purpose say they run a federal government, but the people that within Abuja, within the capital, now they're in charge of everything. Because now yes, the federation in the honor, but the states they get right. You get certain things and where the states they do, where the federal government so they get involved in. The states they raise funds, taxes, and they do this, and they do that, and they do this. The only thing where they get in common now the defense and foreign policy. Because I want foreign policy in the United States. I mean, I am a Nigeria get, and I want common defense they get. But other than that, the states then they function all on their own, even up to elections themselves. Yes, they get the national election we the way they can't happen as soon as November. But in terms of how they conduct them, not of the federation they conduct elections. Now, yeah, what do they see so? State by state, a state will do their own. When they do their own, they put the results. As simple as that. Nigeria now all come under the federal, government. Where it come from money again at the federal government. And all that thing. So they wonder how they wanna go, say they be a federation, but the states them what they do, they subjugated to the central government na Abuja. Everything where they need now to the central government and they go. But when they may get a unitary government, up to the time where General Erosi then take over 1966, February, where they get that major school, then Erosi can't take over. It was a unitary system of government that they run. So you will get order, at the place. The place was very orderly. But Yakubu Gowon come in, where he can, divide the place and say state by state. But again, like we say, they not get the ingredients and for run that kind of a system of governance. That ain't not happen. So now Ogun State, waiting and do then go enter into an agreement with China. For whatever reason, they don't meet up their own part of the bargain. They don't meet up the part of their own bargain. So like I say, what do the Chinese do? They not go now Ogun State for go impound or seize a property. Now the federal property they go seize. They go now Nigeria. Then go seize a presidential jet. I mean, you cannot conceive of anything way more disrespectful past standing. Seriously. For let another country come out, then go na another sovereign nation, then go seize their property. That are the highest disrespect that way anybody can think of. The highest disrespect. So this come again to the argument, say, Nigeria, who say they don't have what it takes for run a federal government. They don't have it. Because everything is like the states. Even the police, when they run, the national police, and they run. Whereas, in the United States, every state, they run their own police. They not get a national police. The only national police we can talk about, now the FBI. But every state, like we said, so not only say every state, but even the counties themselves, and not only that, and the cities them. Because now Prince George's County are there. Within the Prince George's County them, you get Prince George's County, you get the other different counties there. And then different counties and they get the administrative set up. They get a local government within that. They call it Bladysburg, so you get the municipal governments in there. When they run their own police, then they do the fire force, then they raise their own money. That's what they do. Yes, I mean there are certain things they where he can't let the school business, the county, the PE county, so they get the school there within the run. But even that, then they raise their own money. So now that make them problems and they quitting Nigeria don't go to now. So it not go happen now. Because they're well structured in terms of administrative sagacity. Then in terms of how to raise money, they also get the capacity for drum. Tax system. The tax system where they raise now most in a PG or mainland, now for them. Now for them, so they get ways and means for raise. So this accounts for why they not depend on the federal government. The only dependent on the federal government, like we say now at the armed forces level, because now one national army in the world, United States Army and in the world. So in case of anything, an attack on any part of America now, mostly like Bladensburg now, is being construed as an attack on the United States. So that the federal forces then will be out there. Also, again, they talk about jurisprudence in the court system. Maryland gets a own court system. Yes, the Constitution did. But they also get the state, the state laws them. They get the state laws them. Where will address any infraction of principle. So in other words, they set the machinery of government in such a way that you not get the federal government where they breathe down the necks of the states then, because they're very independent. But like Nigeria now, I don't look, all things are just the federal government, anything at federal level. They need money, now the federal government need to go to. Even can with police now, the one police in the run, where the head of the police force, then the head of the police for the entire country, So you see all of the lapses here. So this thing will happen. So where they go see the presidential how you call them plane, it actually demonstrates it. The people they not get the capacity for run different states. They not get the capacity for do that. And this need an embarrassment to the country, because now the sovereignty of the country now China. Now as I talk, the Chinese government don't send call the African people them. Then they don't call them, then they go bait them. Then dangle things that they face money, or they say they go do this and go do that. Waiting the African countries and they fail for understand that waiting they do so now aggressive debt business. Nine then they go put them to for let them take debts them. Nine and they put them to, but they don't even know. So in other words, then they can and go they entice them, say we'll do this for now, we'll do this for now, we'll give now this one, But what will actually happen? Then they try for force them, into some debt. Wait today tomorrow, they're not go able, and the people are very aggressive. What they did, then they go seize and asset them, because I cannot imagine another sovereign nation. The Spanish they match, they go now another sovereign nation and forgo impound whatever they make the assets. This really, I mean, a disrespect to any country we call itself a sovereign nation. But we leaders are responsible for this. The African leaders are responsible, because every minute then people in country and every minute and day, they go look for handouts. And like I say, these guys are not giving you anything free. They are not. Anything they give you, you get conditionalities where then they attach it. You're not getting it free. Let nobody not fully say, wait in China they do, wait they give free. No, that's never the case. It is never the case. Whatever they give una, wanna they go for take, where then they dangle on her face, believe me, it gets conditionalities there. Where at the end of the day, una not go able meet up. Now I know they happen so. So by leaps and bounds them, so China they try small. Now take over, then they try for take over the place. Then. This is what these African leaders they understand. They don't understand this. Now we at the talk show. The other pack, they need at China now. Because China self one get a hold on the African continent. This is what they do now. So they are very aggressive in waiting and the dangle that the African leaders have. And we leaders them very unprincipled, exponentially corrupt, and people in way not the think of anything. They quick for capitulate to short-term expediency. They do those things them. So now the big dilemma this way we don't face. Because again, like I say, I cannot conceive of a situation where China they go seize a presidential plane in Nigeria. This is not disrespect of the highest, order where anybody can think of. So it will find let the leaders in Africa, let them they rethink their strategy, how then they cushion up, to China, because what they do though, then they call and hoodwink them into taking loans them where they come with a lot of conditionalities. Where are the when all is said and done, one and not meet up, what they do, they go down a country and seize what they want seize. Now Apple so na Nigeria, a whole presidential jet got seized by China because Ogun State conduct their own foreign policy. This is exactly the danger this way with the top out. States cannot be conducting their own foreign policy. Foreign policy, not that of the preserve of the central government, not to state by state they conduct their own foreign policy. No, you cannot. Because it gets too much implications there. Now, only the federal government now for conduct foreign policy, not to a state. Now, look how it don't backfire. So the hope is that they learn a lot of useful lessons from which it not happen. Now, the next thing we discuss, because like we say today, we look at various things and we bring up, we will be part of the narrative that like I say, we still in Nigeria. Waiting we can't discuss today. Now this question of Tinubu don't bring a case on 10 citizens in Nigeria waiting at in crime. They were part of the demonstration, they demonstrate. Now, it gets a lot of implications in there. First of all, Tinubu in a moral position for bring any criminal offense. And besides, they talk about treason. The question where they ask, how treason factor into demonstration? The fundamental question there, they may attempt for overthrow? No. They may raise any arms against the federal government? No. Yes, then demonstrate, but even the demonstration itself, the man was told in advance. Because I remember the labor union, they send notice to Tinubu, then give them the conditions and tell them the reason why they want strike. One, the bureaucracy in Nigeria is too large. Tinubu get too much, ministers we not necessary. You get, apart from the fact that within the federal government, it get too much unnecessary cabinet post. You also get the the office of what they call the first lady. You also get the office of the first son. You also get office of the first daughter. And all of this are being supported by the citizens, the money there. People are complaining of hunger, starvation, cost of living, where they feel say very exorbitant. It is outside, the capacity, all of this. Now, in addition to that, also the profligate spending on the part of Tinubu then, he buy 3 presidential plane them. I mean, they wonder which other and they get planes them. Where did they? More even assume say they not say we're not to even that's not the case because the plane where the president of the United States is, it only up to 30 years. Now said that they can't make another generation of new planes and where they can come out. So when you look Tinubu there, it's something like 19 years, or something like that. So they wonder which you need new planes there for, especially at a time when people they complain about cost of living. I mean, they are complaining everywhere. Say the cost of living is too exorbitant. It's totally exorbitant, and it is outside, the capacity. So this now they complain about. So then tell Tinubu that these are the conditions where they give. Say if these conditions are met, then strikes not go take place. But for whatever reason, either born out of moral arrogance, and they get the big stick, they go use that over the people, they not greet until the people strike. And the thing is, strike also not part of the democratic process. Just like way freedom of speech are part of the process, so also a strike. It is part of it. After all, here is the irony. In the Tinubu in 2012 was part of a strike against President Goodluck Jonathan in government. And all that time they were do that, nobody no harass him, nobody no arrest him, nobody no charge him. So the logic of syllogism for telling Tinubu, if it was okay for you for strike, and there were no unintended consequences, so people they fail emotionally or rationally for say, why now you for say strike nothing way anti-democratic. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it at all because, like I say, in 2012, Tinubu the joint strikes them against President Goodluck Jonathan in government, and nobody hamburger, nobody harass him, nobody arrest him. I don't go talk about the case. Nobody not bring a case. So the question is, how treason case can get into this? What will happen? How you accuse people of treason when there's no attempt for overthrow the government? They not do that. They not threaten you. You are not threatened. They not even march on as to Rock Villa. You put so many troops them out. So many. They ask the fundamental question. So if you get that number of troops there where you put out, you're for suppress the citizen, their right for demonstrate. How about using the same troops they for end the Boko Haram menace in the country? Look at the damage and the danger where Boko Haram don't do. Today, you're not able, raining that menace thing. But then they put out that kind of a number of troops them out just for suppress the citizens. But the thing is, like we talk, the citizens they get a right for strike. They do. This is part of the democratic process. This is part and parcel of the democratic process. the right for strike. Anyhow, Tinubu they look at this. That's not the right. And the constitutional right standing. So for come, reply that way the, put massive security, people that, well, I'm not to say, good, because you also get for protect, the preserve of the country. Yes, the security people then get for be alert. But this strike will take place in Nigeria. We don't see anything where the people then do, where you will say he encroach on the preserve of the society. No, there's nothing like that. So this question of charging about 10 people then for treason, this is just unbelievable. He way off, the cuff. And this is actually now a misapplication of the law, but even significant and abiding, as the fact say, this is not the misuse and abuse of office. Because the only thing that the citizens they attempt for hold in the Tinubu accountable. So what he do, he respond, that way, which is very unfortunate. So these are the things that they will see about the people. But then these are the same people in Newaya where they clamor forget a permanent system that you United Nations Security Council. If you guys say una so anathema to democratic culture, una not the acceptor, then una want go sit down and place to say the big boss and the sit down, America, especially America, England, France, and all that places. Now where they talk so Nigeria owe billions of I don't know under this administration also. They owe so much money to the Western powers and they. So if una they una live by the largest of them people and they out there una want go sit down with them, they not only say now una they look for 2 seats them, they not only that una need a veto power. And obviously that not gonna happen. United States not gonna allow any country, any third world country in general, but in particular an African country, for go sit down permanently in the Security Council of the United Nations and get veto power. No, it's not going to happen. And you let nobody not fully accept it's not going to happen, not to option Nandi. United States no, you're not going to tolerate that. It's not going to happen. Anyhow they look at it's not going to happen. United States not going to tolerate it because they know waiting at the implications of the thing. Especially in this competition where they depend Sino-Soviet, this competition among them. That's not what happened. So Daniel, they can forget about that. So the next thing what they come talk again about. Now waiting, don't decide for do. The way they don't decide for handle this ongoing crisis where they between Hamas and Israel, where don't lead to the loss of scores of lives. Them people, their lives don't go over something we no water. This crisis what the system where they between Israel and Hamas. The antecedent will trace them back to 1917, where one former senior British government official, when they call him Arthur Balfour, where he come up with a declaration, when they call it the Balfour Declaration. That declaration became November 2, 1970. When they give Israel, the Palestinians, they landed. That from that time, the 90s crisis only cascade to 1948 with the proclamation of the State of Israel. No, don't forget, say 1948, they proclaimed the State of Israel, and immediately now President Harry Truman Now he recognize her. Now, with that declaration, that Afro Buffer declaration, we don't become a central tenet in British and foreign policy. It will be very hard for them roll them back because, like you say, now a central tenet in Britain and foreign policy. And not only that, it is being recognized by the United States also. The only way out of this existential crisis, we don't get be visited upon mankind. The only way out of this, anyhow anybody look at this, the only way out of this, Britain, in concert with the United States, and perhaps France also, get for see if they can repeal that after Beaufort proclamation. And if you do that, it means Israel will get for commot na the Palestinian the land. Every land where they don't grab since what, because war don't start here that since, immediately after the declaration or the proclamation of the state of Israel, and war don't begin at that place. They don't fear all kind of war. Lives are being lost inordinately. So the only thing that for come out today, but the question is, Israel will come out here. The mistake was made after they know the Western, alliance or axis where they don't deal with menace. I mean, they don't end the Hitler menace. Waiting them for do, they get a lot of other places. I mean, Europe na big place. Where them for make a homeland for Israel then within the European entity there. You got a lot of places them. Now Europe, where them for take give Israel also with the units, now na land now na get here. But they care then go na the Palestinian place. And the Palestinians them, they are just about determined they need a land. They are just determined. For whatever reason, they're very determined. They want the place. There is this question, say whether they get a two-state solution. But no Israeli government no good tolerate Palestinians, especially the one we get a Hamas, for let them go, let them get together. No, that will never happen. So the only solution is either Israel commot that the entire Arab country in commodity, or this is what and therefore brace itself for. Let this thing continue. As long as they continue for occupy that place, this crisis will continue. Now look what happened. August 7th, where Hamas, be attack Israel. Look, today, look what in Nepal. Look the scores of lives that we don't lose. Look infrastructures that we don't get destroyed. So the question is, what have people gained out of this? What have they gained out of this? They don't gain nothing, absolutely. They don't gain nothing out of this. Absolutely. There is no gain out of this. Now, human catastrophe upon human catastrophe, human tragedy upon human tragedy, now the nation they go through. Now, Britain, they don't come up with a policy done at the foreign and Commonwealth Secretary, Mr. David Lammy, something like that. They say, they can't suspend arms, sales to Israel. So that's now a band-aid that not to the solution that waiting they need at that place. They really, really need a long-term solution and they need the other. an enduring solution. Not so, okay, we not go do this. And besides, Israel is stockpiled with arms. No, not forget, see, now yanda America, they test a weapon. No weapon, not the way Israel need, way America not go give them. In addition to giving them money. So, whatever Britain want do, say no, they go suspend arms sales to, I mean, quite frankly, it don't make no difference to Israel. The one way they rely on most in the United States. The only country who go solve this problem here, that we talk repeatedly, the United States now go solve this problem. This Arab-Israeli issue, the United States for solve it. But the question is, are they prepared to do it? That's an educated guess. Because they know they pan this, we don't get Camp David, where President Carter been bring Camp. Say Nade Mr. Anwar Sadat lost his life. That accord we being go reach with Israel. Nade lost his life. So there seems to be the only solution there has to be, where I know say it's just not even acceptable, a complete evacuation of Israel from the Palestinian and get forgive up the Palestinian answer. That not the only solution, that there is no other way out of it. Because even this two-state solution, like we say, where they don't propose, it's not going to work. Israel is not going to accept it. They will never conceive of living side by side with Hamas. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So waiting for the BD that the periodic wars and everything, because Hamas could sit down out of frustration, say, well, then people are today in the non-grab we land, they know they recommodate and look the atrocities the way they commit. So that's the thing. Then this also gets wider implication. Iran they also they just they just add more fuel to the fire. You see this. So Israel is being surrounded by mortal enemies. So the only solution, like at the repeater, at the risk of repetition, that if it ever possible, Israel get forgive up the entire, Arab land. They hope they get forgive them up. But I don't know if they give them up, who they get for go. I don't know who again they get for go settle back. Because this mistake was made way back in 1917, and they make this mistake here. And so this is not a mistake, this way not going to be easily undone. This that a mistake, this way not going to be easily undone. Because for tell the Israel say, well, una come here, we give you another state, una go there and that. I'm not sure say they will be willing for do this. So mankind is going to live with this. Now, very shortly, either this week or next week, the General Assembly of the United Nations, they can convene. They will go there, they will count all kind of resolution, and they will go there. All kind of resolution. So they will talk that they know say they talk. They will care all kind of resolution as to how they feel say waiting at the proper remedy for resolve this Arab-Israeli conflict. But it's not going to amount to anything because it's not going to happen. Then the whole thing, and who said they talk Canada, it go left. It's not going to happen. Israel is not going to take any dictation from third world countries about this. Any sanction where most of the third world want to take United States go veto. So he remains totally meaningless. any sanction where they want take against, Israel, say, well, you know what, this is not the way, this way we feel safe for solve this problem. It's going to be sanctioned by the United States anyway. Any vote. Now, I mean, I they look the third world countries, where one sit down at the Security Council at the United Nations and all that. No, because United States are aware of this. They get what they call invested interest. They're not going to allow una for go sit down there. Then una they vote against them. No, and they're not going to. And besides, for una get a veto power. No, it's not going to happen. It is simply not an option, not to the card down the way in the works. That's not the card in the works. So whatever resolution they take against Israel, not to resolution we will see the light of day, because definitely United States is going to veto it. And by all the 5 members them waiting at the Security Council as permanent members, yes, China get veto power, Russia get veto power, and all that. But the thing is, what people they fail for realize, Russia, the importance that the world body be done from the time where the Soviet Union disintegrates, where all the other the every other, I think there are about 15 nations, and that they may make the union of the Soviet Socialist Republics. But since they all been done big, from that time where Gorbachev provide the enabling environment when it may lead to the breakup of the Soviet Union, now it don't lost in importance. It don't lost in prestige. When they meet together, I mean, when you may get the USSR, when United Nations, when they come meeting here, when the president of the United States opened the session, the next speech where they already been look for now, the speech from the Soviet Union, where all the time was, delivered by Andrei Gromyko. But since the fall of the Soviet Union, the only speech now where matter in the United Nations, now the one that where the president they give, that the only time where that chamber they full to capacity. Now, when the president of the United States traditionally is here for open the place, but once you don't open that session day, the place become an empty chamber. Most times, the other delegates say, "Waking the talk." That's what the chair then they talk. Because people they know the day. Because after the president don't open the session, now there's this scramble for that, one-on-one meeting, and that they call it the sidebar meeting. Countries in the kind of force, for meets with the president on the sideline. And even that's not to every country get that opportunity for meet with the president on the sideline after it don't declare the session open. So all of that, so in other words, the argument that today who they present, where you want let people know, when you talk about United Nations, now simply now an extension of United States Foreign Ministry or State Department, where now they use the world platform, then they use them for lecture the rest of the world. Then they use that platform for showcase themselves, for browbeat people them into submission. That's what United Nations is. Not to a place where you call now it say now a place where they practice the policy of equality. No. now United States in an extension of Foggy Bottom. Foggy Bottom means the foreign ministry, the foreign ministry in or the State Department. So now America they use that for tell the outside world what they look at and what they want. So this I mean, the world actually they go through existential crisis. The world they in a very serious, crisis, very serious. Look, waiting also they happen between Russia and Ukraine, and the purpose where the United Nations come about now for make sure say they think here, you know, a war. They make sure say war not they take place. Their job is for prevent wars, but have they been able to do that? No. They get the capacity for do that? No. So this is where again, person will begin seriously question the relevance of the United Nations. You question them. How relevant is it? Because for start with, the miscellaneous collection of countries and where the third world countries and where they honor dictatorship them. That's not even one thing. They are nothing but dictators them. Now they dictators them. You hardly see democratic politics, na then country they. Now dictatorship they. So with all that, and America is not going to capitulate or submit to any dictation from any third world country. It's not going to happen. You get what they call the invested interest. And anything we don't jive with the invested interest, not what you will take seriously. So all of these factors there, are all the factors there. So today, I'm just say, let's spend some time, with a review of the world, waiting to happen Israel, between Hamas and Israel, because we President Biden, openly talk say Benjamin Netanyahu is not doing enough for ensure hostility come to an end. And even the people themselves now Israel now, and on they turn on in the Netanyahu because they self young people they hostages them. Today, not able free the hostages them. In just one belief, in just one rely on military might, military. This matter now, not to all a military might. No. If not for that, because like I say, they know they on this since 1948 when they proclaimed the state of Israel. Now they know the party. Well, Israel said no, we nothing. Rather than they lost. Yeah, they keep people and then they keep people them. With reckless abandon, they said, but the question, have they won anything? No. They say, who said they did? They don't get peace. Every now and then they get for watch over their shoulders. Because they don't know who side the next attack they come out. That now the whole thing now they don't know who side the next attack they come out. It can come up from nowhere just like what happened in August 7. They were taken by surprise. We also remember the Yom Kippur war when Egypt them made a surprise raid on them. Yes, they will come back for counter attack. But then the question is how long? How long? So is the self get for ask themselves a fundamental question. How long they get for they and this? How long? How long are they going to be, fighting? How long? Yes, they are lucky. I mean, they get support from the United States, financially, militarily, but still they have not been able to prevail. They have not been able, because the people that when they defend, the Arabs themselves, the Palestinians and Ethiopia, they're just as determined as they are. And they say they don't get allies now, especially a country like Iran and all the other countries. They all so the only way out of this, like we they continue for talk, it will sound a bit impossible. People will say, well, but this way the proposal is not plausible at all. Say, well, Israel for give up, or Palestinian or the Arabs they land them, They are not going to do it because they who side they go get for go now. This problem, like we talk, this problem took place way back with the Atobofo Declaration, where give the Arabs in place to the Jewish people then and then displace them. The problem now Hitler name caused that problem then. And Hitler now part of the West. So obviously enough, since now the West now caused that problem then, and when I be Hitler, so the Western Alliance before don't solve that problem, this Palestinian business, because like we say, you get a lot of places, them Arab lands a day. I mean, the European places, you get countries a day, places a day, wait them before give the Jewish people, but they don't do them. They go give them somebody else in your place, and those people are very determined. They are very determined. They say they want a place. So periodically, this is what they get for them. Periodically, this is what they get for them. They get for the fight every now and then. They get for the fight every now and then. Periodically, this is what they get for them. And so you go ask the fundamental question. What have they gained? Yes, they get all the might. United States, they give them all the technology where they need. The latest weapon, but they have still not prevailed. The economy, United States, they bankroll the economy, which is fine. But with all of them, they have still not prevailed. They're not able to prevail. They have not prevailed. Because, like we say, why don't they in that place since 1948? Then people then go look the history of warfare. Now the Middle East, but particularly between Israel and Arab neighbors them. From 1948, following the proclamation of the State of Israel, and then only Paris. Today. And there seems to be no way out. There seems to be no way out of this. It's like everybody's stuck in this. Everybody is stuck in this. There's no way out of this. So we don't know really where mankind is headed for. The world body, where the reason where it come about for preventing kind of a thing, for make sure say mankind not go through this. But in spite of all the facts that it did, look, the hotspots them. Look, the hotspots them where they are around. You get we turn around no more this country, and then they at war with that country there. This country, they are war with that country there. It's everywhere. So, and what's even bad about this, the weapons the way that they use for prosecuting what they are is too lethal. It's too lethal. It's too lethal for humanity. The weapons that when they use is just too unbelievable. So we don't know if the world will ever be in peace. Wait on there, like we say the Russian then and the Ukrainians and they China self all the time they all in Taiwan or whatever it is. They have always been threatening for physically take the place back. And that again now that kata that will commode. Sudan de Paneum. Look how Sudan is being divided. Look how Sudan they. You get Alpha, you get South Sudan, You get that Sudan, you get all that the war. The deeper war. All along, the deeper war. So you wonder, so where is mankind headed for? Where? Nigeria said beginning, 1967. It starts January 1966. July, it cascaded to July 29. Then by the time 1967 it came out, the country was ablaze. All of this. So today I just feel like review some of the things when they happen around. And if you observe, I really focus on Nigeria. One, this thing where Tinubu do way that they charge people there for treason, where some of which is that misuse and abuse of power, because nothing other when people they do way amount to treason. No, they demonstrate or they protest against bad governance, against cost of living. And the irony about all this, the Tinubu where they bring treason charges on people there, he also was part of demonstration. If people then go back to the records and go read, they will find out say in 2012 he was part of demonstration. He exercised a right for protest, for demonstrate against what he conceive as bad governance. The question is, anybody be harassed? No. Was he locked up? No. Was he arrested? No. So you will ask the fundamental question, what are the rationale now going after people when they do the same thing? You see, that's not the fundamental question that way anybody will ask. So well, why now you go after them people there? You did this, you do the same thing. You did the same thing. And you got out with it scot-free. The world is simply not safe. With all the lethal weapons and where they around, everybody can just grab them or go do this. Everybody. And who's more dispotent than the Middle East, particularly between Israel and the Arabs there. This carnage will happen. So if not any other leader, this will happen where they happen between Israel and Hamas. If not any other leader, they do this, by now it ain't at the ICC by now. By now, if they at the ICC, if anybody not believe on an exercise charge still on it, then your exercise charge still on it. But Israel don't get away with a lot of things there. They don't really get away with a lot of things there. All that because of the backing of the great superpower. So I mean, we really lost. We just get for the win this up. So one day common sense could prevail over opportunistic calculations on the part of people. For another in a war, nobody wins in a war. No matter how little you una weapon they una not they win, because one life lost equivalent to millions of lives. Them. That's the way some of you they look up. The loss of one life, precious life, equivalent to millions of lives. Them. And how this is so. Since August 7th to now, where are the talk so? No the carnage, no the wanting destruction, no the needless loss of life. So many people that may just say they are come, discuss a few things they have by God power. I will see if I will come again tomorrow with another edition. I want to thinking they can say una always una come una for the chair, una for the comment. Yeah, I mean, only happy to say una help me la get money la fix another system. We go make una go record because I go alone at the calling, alone at the way, don't necessarily way by the conversation them. Una can send an cash app, una can send an Zelle, the same number 240-413-1733 because I alone as be part of it. So now that make I ask for them, they help them there. So from time to time, we will bring the issues them. And I just want to tell everybody we come now today, Boku thank you, or when they listen to me. Around that turn at Tenki, I want to say God Almighty go watch over them. Until then, it's not Kutubuku woman I decide of.